Alright guys, this is William Jamie and welcome to my channel. So let's continue our journey of learning grease pencil. And previously, I think I forgot to delete another orphan data. So if you haven't deleted that, you just need to clean up. And I got unused link data blocks, and you should just click all that, okay, until you got say material also deleted. Okay, sorry about that, it's oversight. And then once you are finished deleting, let's make a grease pencil from scratch. So the grease pencil is kind of like a object rather than a pencil or brush. So you have to, I have a really hard time say, hey, I need to make a grease pencil. Yeah, I think it looks weird. It's like I need to grab a grease pencil in order to draw something. Normally I would say that, but hey, we're in Blender, so grease pencil is not just a brush. It's a kind of an object that you can use, and it's a great animation tool. Okay, so let's go back after you purge all this orphan data. Let's go back here, and I think I can pretty much delete the cube as well. And just to make sure we got orphan data brushes meshes, let me quickly clean this. Okay, and it's clean. And then we can just go to recursive, all that. I think maybe it's unused link data blocks. Just just make sure that's clean. Okay, so after you done that, you just go back here and press 0. You go to this sort of canvas mode, and of course if you want more hints, that's totally okay. You can just go to here to add more things. So for example, I love to add grid and maybe 3D cursor, so I can know that we are in a 3D environment. You can add axis. Okay, so we can have a X and Y and Z axis actually here, and I'm thinking maybe the strength, let me make it say 1, but the color maybe adjust that a little bit because it's a little bit too dark, right? And you can also add you don't need statistics. Yeah, maybe just that. Okay, so once you are satisfied with that, go back to 0, and then you can go back to draw mode. Okay, yeah, we haven't got this grease pencil, so there's no draw mode, sorry. So we have to create a grease pencil. So Shift and A, grease pencil, and let's start from scratch. So let's make a blank. So previously we just cheated a little bit by initialize this project, splash string, and go to this 2D animation. But this time we're going to go a little bit harder. So we're going to do that from scratch by using the grease pencil and blank. Okay. Once you add that, you will notice that nothing happened. What happened? Nothing happened. Okay, so that's weird. And if you look here, nothing happens on whatever mode that you are in. Okay, but still, you actually generate a grease pencil. If you just click here, you can see a grease pencil object has been already created, and inside we got a grease pencil layer. Okay, so this can give us a little bit hint. So you can go back to this data object data properties. As you can see, at this layer, we got this grease pencil layer. We can rename that by double click and say whatever layer that you have in mind. Doesn't really matter. You can always rename that later. Okay. So once you got this and you try to draw, and there's a draw mode by the way. So if you try to draw on this canvas, you will have a really hard time actually see that. That's because you need to choose a different material. Okay, so right now we got this default F pen here, but if you click material, there's a black material. Okay, And of course, you can use dot stroke, okay? And you just click and let it go, you got a series of dots. Okay? So as simple as that. So we kind of like doing that from scratch. So far, so good. But what is lacking? Because we know nothing about Grease Pencil. So the best way to learn it is learn from, the software developer team. So if you look at here, we just create a material called maybe black or dot stroke, okay? And we can draw on the canvas. So let's draw something like this. Will be like the empty. So I'm going to say this will be one. Maybe not the dotted line. Maybe just choose it to be black. Okay, so there will be one, and let's say there will be one that's empty from scratch, or just a WJM within Jammy. Okay, my YouTube channel's name. Okay, and this will be our first try and start from empty. And of course, you can rename this Grease Pencil from like test one, so just our test one. And of course, you can exit, or you can use the control and tab to exit to object mode, and Shift and A to add another Grease Pencil, which will be stroke. So wow, that's completely different and much more fine-tuned as well as good looking than our WJM. So the first try. Okay, so that's the good thing. And here comes more information. If you look here, we got black, white, red, green, blue. Whoa, that's much better. Okay, so instead of just the black and I'll use this black, and I think it got black over one, something like that. And instead of that, we got all other materials. If we go back to this data, we got line as well as color. Okay, so if you click line at test one, you just get GP layer. If you got the stroke, we got line and colors. So that's the thing that we are lacking. Okay, and so we can treat this as a certain specific object. So it's basically it's just a stroke. Okay, you select this stroke, and then you can grab this and you can move it here. So this will be our second try. So I'm going to go to the draw mode and make it the second. Okay, and then let's try out a little bit more. Let's try the third one. I'm not going to get the edit mode. Then use Grease Pencil, and you can actually add a monkey. So the stroke will be test 2, and Suzanne will be test 3. So we can compare the 3. Okay, we already can grab this and put it here, and then we can go back to our draw mode, and so there will be a 3. And of course, you can add annotation as well. But right now, I'm thinking of just put this Suzanne monkey here. I think I accidentally added dot or something. Yeah, never mind. Okay, so we got 3 things. One is our totally from scratch from 0, and 2 is a simple stroke. The third one is Suzanne the monkey. And let's look at the test 3. Still, we got lines and we got fields. So let me hide a line. Okay, so this is a line. And let me hide the field. Oh, this field is what inside. So we know what this is. And we can say go back to the object mode, go to test 2, and then we can go to this data. We got a line. If you hide the line, if you hide color, yeah. So basically, this color does not do a lot of things. But if you look at Suzanne, this like an orange color inside actually is controlled by color. So this do have a color, the stroke do have a color, but does not do a lot of things. And this one is our customized objects. Okay, so just one layer. If you hide that, it's gone. Okay, just one layer control. It's kind of similar. So this must be just the brush difference rather than like something profound difference. Okay, and if you look at the material, it's just got a black material. Okay, if you look at here, the material we got black, we hide it, it's gone, and it kind of just hint that we can change the material. We can change that to green, we can change that to red. Okay, so we can change that. And if you look at here, the object mode, so we can like select that with ease by just clicking on it, and we can change the material as well. So we can change that, say, to green. Wow, so the outline of the Suzanne just got green. And if you got inside, we got Suzanne, we got data, we got line, as well as we got field. Okay, so if you go back to here, and we can just hide the field. Okay, so we get this outline of the Suzanne. So you can see that everything right now we can customize, and the like the default thing, even though it's kind of like a fancy stuff, but instead if you just break it down, you just like a step by step adding things and make it like a package that you are going to use that on just one click. Okay, so yeah, nothing too fancy, we already know that. And let's go further. So if you haven't learned Blender before, you sort of need to know this, is that Blender, if you have to understand Blender rather than just repeat tutorial, you have to know Blender is written in Python. So you have to know a little bit about programming concept. But I will break it down for you because I got another channel, by the way, called Code with William Jamming. I write code, and I might add another series of video that dedicated to using Python to solve problems in Blender and how to write your own add-on. I'm so excited about the project right now, but let's just keep it secret. It will come out maybe within 1 month. Okay, I promise. Okay, so yeah, so if you go deeper, you can see that the monkey and material got the material of green skin, all that, and the material is like a container, and container contain a certain amount of data, and this container is shared by the whole objects in this project. So everything inside the project can have like they can point to reference this data, and so they can use it. So for example, if you got this let me just do something like crazy. Okay, so for example, this green, let me use that name of a common green. Okay, and for example, I like this one to have this common green. So how to do that? I just switch that to common green. And for example, I want this one to have the common green. I can reference that as well. Okay, and right now it's not changing, so I think it must be about the layers problem, maybe. So I have to modify that. Okay, you might wonder what is going on. Why can't I draw a green color when I already changed the material to common green? Okay, here comes the problem, and here is the solution. Is when you look at here, the stroke does change that, but what about this? So it seems that everything I use my brush, my actual pen to draw will not change color. Why is that? Because if you look at here, that's the reason why I separate the settings and the tool. And so I single out the tool. That's because we're going to fine tuning our brush. So if you look here, we normally just change brush like this. So for example, I want to change the ink, okay, and I can just draw some ink like this. But remember, I think it's default. right now is I change that to color attribute, or maybe I change that, maybe it's default. I'm not sure. But if your setting is change to color attribute, and you want to change that to material, you can do something like this. So here's a step with Magic Heavens. You just need to choose the material. So basically, if you choose color attribute, you are going to use that specific color regardless of the material that you choose. Okay, even though you choose a common green material, it will not work. So that's it, but it got a plus sign. The plus sign is that you can use that for annotation. So for example, if you want to write something on this canvas, you can do that, and it will have this consistent feeling regardless of what material that you're using. But if you want to use material, you just choose material. Okay, then you draw on top of that. You can get a nice, consistent feeling. Okay, that's how to do this switch, and that's the reason why I separate the toolbar from all this, like the menu at the right, because the right side will be change the material, but left side is dedicated for the brush and the color. Okay, so I think that will be all for this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give the video a thumb up. Okay.